What's your date of birth?
10/8/29.
Yesterday, December 7th, 1941, a date which will live in infamy.
I wanted to get in, and I wasn't 17 until 1946,
Right.
and that's when I went in. Truthfully, I went down to enlist in the Navy, and the Navy wasn't taking anybody at that time.
Right.
So I knew the Army was upstairs, so I went upstairs. I says, "Can you take me on the 8th? Yes, I'm coming in. I had to get permission from my mother to go. She signed the paper so I could go. Boot camp, I went to Fort Bliss, Texas. I went to Japan. I was there for a short time till they decided what they were going to do with me. And then they sent me to Okinawa there's 6 of us went down to start up a unit down there. I was with Army Security Agency, and when we got there, the gang was there to put up the antennas because we're a communication outfit for over a year. And then I got sick because it was too hot. And they said, "You got to get out of here and you can't come back." So they sent me back to Japan, sent me to a place that was more like home, Korea.
Okay.
So I was 15 miles, stationed 15 miles north of Seoul.
Okay.
But like I said, I was with a security outfit.
Yeah.
Well, they came across and they wiped out a signal corps outfit. And I'm a crip operator at that time. And I got the message, called the old man. I says, "We got to move out," because that's what it says. Top secret, got to move out. I think it took us about a week, maybe less. The whole company moved out of there. Almost 2 years with this outfit. And they turned down my clearance. The old man says, "What the hell? They turned down your clearance? You've been here for 23 months. It's not nothing I didn't know about the company, because I worked in the crip room. The crip room was just a matter of I took messages coming in, broke them down. We received messages from our men in Russia, China.
Oh.
They sent them to us. We broke them down and sent them to the States. They wouldn't even mention American Army security agents. They just say ASA at that time. Well, this island is about 6 miles wide and 20-some miles long.
This is Okinawa.
Yep. And I got ticket after ticket for speeding. The old man says, "Leo, where in the hell are you going? The island ain't that big." He just laughing like mad. He says, "Slow it down." We had a kid that went down with me. I'm not going to tell you his name, but anyhow, he was kind of a wise ass. And he became acting first sergeant when I came back to the island. And him and I didn't get along too good anyhow. And I was the driver. I drove everybody wherever they wanted to go. And this day I'm driving and I got a whole bunch of them want to go to the beach. So I come down the road, and right where the office is, there's another road and it's a stop sign, and I just slowed down and kept on going. Oh, I got called in the next day for this. He turned me right in.
Really?
And he says, "Leo, did you stop at that sign yesterday?" I said, "Yes, sir." He says, "Sergeant says you didn't." He says, "Who was with you?" And I told him, because I had a sergeant with me also. And he come down and he says, "Did Leo stop at that sign yesterday?" He said, "Sure." I walked out there and I looked at him and I says, "Don't get on my bus to go to dinner. I'll throw you right off of it."
Have much interaction with them?
Yes. Okinawa, they were really friendly with us. In fact, I was in the village one day. We're just going through just sightseeing, I guess. And they were having a dinner, and they invited us to dinner. But I couldn't eat it because it was dried fish. Oh, I don't want no part of that.
Did you fraternize at all with the Japanese while you're there? Did you kind of?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. In what way?
Well, I shouldn't have.
Next topic is what he said.
There you go. Yeah, I had a girlfriend in Japan, in Tokyo. But she's just out of Tokyo.
Right.
I met her the first time I was in Tokyo, and she was a nice lady, nice girl. We just socialized. She worked at a dance hall, and I went to the dance hall where she was.
Yeah.
And the second time I came back, I met her again. She was going with some young boy, and I'm walking her home, and he's following. She's telling him, "Get the get rid of him." And the bad part of it's the last time I saw her. And what was really funny is I was in a platoon. Everybody in the platoon was from Alabama except me.
God.
They called us on payday and says, "Don't go to town." Wrong thing to say. The whole damn bunch went to town, including me. But they were funny. One of them would get a weekend pass to go home. The whole damn bunch went.
Oh, really?
They all went home. Then called back on a Monday and tried to get an extension to get back.
Too funny.
Oh, that was a great bunch. You know, my biggest emotion down there, Korean monuments. They look like they're alive.
Yeah, they do look alive.
They are so good.
Yeah.
I seen it once before, and I remember the first time I seen it, almost brought tears.
They're moving along like in a rice paddy or something, and they're all humping big packs and ponchos and things like that.
Carrying their guns. They look like they're out there just standing there.
Yeah.
It'll really tear you up
Yeah.
if you got any feelings at all for them. It was an experience because I'm only 17 years old and I'm learning. All the time I'm over there, I'm learning. And I'm glad I went. Of course, I went to get into wartime, but it was over and I still needed it because I'm 17 and I quit school when I'm 16 and I'm working. But my mother said, "You can quit, but you're going to go to work. You ain't staying home all the time." I did.